Hey friends, it's Sarah from SJ Florals. Just checking in with you all first. I hope you're having a wonderful day. And anyhow, I'm going to share this easy peasy watercolor tutorial with you. It's a little watercolor moon. Super pretty. Super easy. Let's get into it, hey? First up, let's pretend that wasn't the worst intro ever. Onto the materials. First up, we need a pencil, some paintbrushes. I use round paintbrushes. Not really sure what sizes they are because the sizings are weird, like I've told you in my last video. Paint, I'm using Paint Wild Storm, which is actually a Payne's grey. A circle maker, a palette or plate, a ruler, and then some watercolor paper. The watercolor paper I'm using is actually like student grade. It's not 100% cotton or anything. But yeah, any kind of watercolor paper will work. So now you can see I have now grabbed a piece of paper and I'm using my ruler to rip the page down. I like to do this. It gives it a bit of a deckled edge. It makes it a little bit nice rather than cutting it down, having straight edges. If you like straight edges, go ahead and cut it. If you're like me and you think it looks kind of rustic and cool, use this little ruler hack to give it a bit of a deckled edge. And you can see it's a little bit all over the place, but whatever. Anyhow, one thing that I forgot to mention, I also use washi tape in this particular video for this painting. Usually I'm not big on using washi tape, but I will be using washi tape too. So let's draw a circle using your circle maker, your round object, whatever it is. And then let's tape that piece of paper down so that the page doesn't warp. But most of the painting I do, I don't actually use washi tape to hold it down. I don't really mind if it warps because you can always just chuck it under a book overnight and that usually helps to flatten it out. Anyhow, so again, here we are going to use the paints. I chuck some water onto the paint to activate it. You leave it to sit for a little bit and then give it a rub-dub-dub. No. Yes, anyhow. So first up, I'm going to put water onto the circle, like you can see I'm doing right now. Just laying that water down so that when I add the paint, it does all that really cool bleedy watercolory stuff that we like to see happen. Like you can see I'm just kind of splodging it on, and I go quite light to begin with, because I like the depth that comes from having obviously the lighter bits and some little bits of white, and then it's also good to kind of work your way up, as I've said before, and also make sure that the paper has enough water so it's like bleeding into the middle of the circle as well. And as you can see, there's just a lot of me putting water on the page, just then I realized there wasn't enough water on the page, so I used my little pipette to squeeze out some more water to chuck it on there so that I get that really good bleedy goodness going on. And then now I've gone in with a bit more of the darker, with a bit more pigment and just darkening it up and making it little bits of it a bit deeper in color. And it's really random. I just kind of go about it randomly. Like, I guess you look at it and you go, oh yeah, it needs a bit of darkness here, it needs a bit of light to kind of balance it. But in general, you'll notice the bottom kind of section of the moon, I'm going in a lot darker and lightening up towards the top. And there's only like smaller parts of the top that are quite dark. And oh yes, I can notice what's happening now. My paint looks like it's really pooling because the page is warping because there's so much water. So I get my trusty paper towel to mop some of that out, because otherwise as that dries, it'll just kind of dry in that that weird little shape it was making, rather than like a nice organic bleedy watercolory goodness. And yeah, you can see just going at it, and just it's a lot of repetition and kind of letting layers dry a little bit with this. So I'm mostly going in whilst it's wet, but there are parts as I get further along that it will be a bit dry, and that's good, so that you kind of further create that depth in the piece. I'm not really sure what else to talk about now. You can see I'm just kind of blobbing some more pigment in and darkening it up. It's literally lots of this. Like, I'll go in and I'll darken parts up, and then I'll go, ooh, that's a bit too dark. Let me add some water and like thin it out and blend it out. And it's really just whatever you think looks right. Like, do you think that those spots are too dark or that part's too light, and going back and fixing it. So as I mentioned before, if you want more darker, deeper color, you go in with more pigment and a little bit less water. But if you want to lighten up a piece, a bit of it, all you have to do is take a wet brush or water and mix it into that, or like I'm doing right now actually, use a clean dryish paintbrush to kind of pick up some of the pigment after you've wet it with water. And then, or goodness me, I'm doing a great job of narrating this, or use a paper towel like I always use, a good old paper towel. But you can see right now I'm using so what I did, like I said, was I put a bit of water on there first, and then I've kind of used the dry, like I dry the paintbrush and use that to kind of pick some of the pigment up. So you can see there's some quite white kind of like splodges that I've just kind of added. But seriously, there's a lot of back and forward for this particular tutorial. It's just a lot of darkening it, lightening it, darkening it, lightening it, and just going with what you think works. Yeah, I don't know if I should continue talking about this right now, because it's very repetitive and I can feel myself being super repetitive. Fun fact, I'm trying to narrate this video without editing any of my narration and just going for it and hoping that I don't sound too much like an idiot right now. But yes, so you can see I just kind of splodged up a lot with the paper towel again. Seriously, for this tutorial, the paper towel is super important. Using it heaps, and also the whole wet and dry brush kind of mopping up the color. Like, I think that's the main reason I use two brushes. I don't know. I filmed this some time ago. I can't really remember, but based on what I'm seeing, I think that's what it was, that I was using one paintbrush mostly to pick up the paint. But now I think, I don't know. Who knows, guys? Anyhow, see, I'm making some little kind of darkened circly areas, kind of like, I think I was going for, you know, the little valleys on the moon or little craters, what have you. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm trying to keep this recording at a decent pace so you guys can follow along, but at the same time trying to keep talking without sounding too stupid. And I don't think I'm doing a great job, guys. So you may want to turn this video onto mute if you don't want to listen to me sounding ridiculous narrating. Okay? Oh, now I've got a tiny paintbrush. What did I do with the tiny paintbrush? I think I started picking up a really small sections of, oh, yes. I started picking up small sections of pigment and trying to clear it up to kind of make those little, you know, like those starry little sparkly kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Is it like a star? It's not a star. It's not sparkle. I don't know, like flary kind of little reflecty. I don't know, guys. But it's like a kind of starry type effect on the star sparkles. I don't know. When I draw them on other things, I call them sparkles, but it doesn't seem right to call it a star or a sparkle on a moon. Maybe you guys know what I should be saying it is, but you can see it's that little star type shape that I am pulling the pigment off by dipping it in the water and going over the paint and drying out my brush to kind of pick that pigment up. And yeah, I'm just doing some little dots and stuff. It's kind of looking a bit moony now, isn't it? It's got that moon kind of look to it. So you can kind of see that I feel like this kind of technique is you go as much as you think, and if you're like me, you overwork it a lot, and then you end up coming back and going, oh yes, I've gone too far. Let me just pull some color off or change that. But it's a very chill kind of thing to paint. It's very calm and relaxing. You just chuck on as much paint as you want, pull it off as you want. And yeah, holy moly, I've been talking for 12 minutes and I feel like I can't have said too much, but a whole lot of me just babbling about. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you're enjoying this tutorial and you've made it this far listening to me, if you've actually got this far listening to me, please leave an emoji in the comments. Let me just have a look at my emojis on my phone, because there's only some emojis that I use all the time and other emojis I don't. So I don't really know all the emojis. Is there a moon? Yes, there is a moon. There's a heap of moons. Okay, guys, if you've made it this far into the tutorial and you've actually listened to me, like, kudos, guys. Chuck in a moon comment so I know that you made it. You made it listening to me, and I'm not really sure how you did, but good work, guys. Yeah, you can see, oh, that's what I've been doing. You've probably seen that I've been doing it whilst I've been babbling, is again using that teeny brush to pick up like circles, and I think I turn them into kind of craters. So I pick up quite a bit of the pigment, and then I think I go back in the center and add a little bit of pigment to kind of make it have that kind of crater look. So you can see it's quite a white little circle I've got going on there. And then I think I go back in and add some color, or maybe I'm totally wrong. Let's just keep watching, guys. I'll be watching with you guys and seeing what's going to happen. Let's anticipate what's going to happen next, hey? Yep, doing another one of those little cratery things. See, I think some of them have more of a crater look and some of them don't really. Hopefully I do go back in and add a bit of colour. Let's find out. See, I'm adding some colour there. Oh my goodness. Jeez, I'm sorry, guys. This is probably the worst tutorial to listen to. But let me know if you've been enjoying me watching this and just kind of add my little 2 cents as I'm watching it and just babbling and not really caring if I sound too silly, that I'm literally not cutting anything out of the narration. We're just going to go for it. And now we're almost 15 minutes worth of me talking non-stop. Oh my goodness, guys, I'm so sorry to put you through this. Let me know if you want me to do this again, or if you think this was terrible and that I should think about it before I speak and actually plan my narrations a bit better. I always think it's better if I write up the narrations, but then I end up editing so much and going, oh, that sounds silly, let me cut that out and re-say that, because I say a lot. And I have no idea how many times I said during this. Maybe I said it less because I'm just saying whatever comes to my mind. So maybe it is better that I have no script at all. But like I told you, it's just a really repetitive type tutorial. It's really fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys give it a shot. Oh wow, I said it then. But yeah, that's looking quite moon-like. And oh, also I'm pretty sure that I'm going to use a gel pen at some point. I'm going to get a white gel pen. So that's something I forgot to mention at the beginning. Grab yourself a white gel pen if you don't have a white gel pen. And gosh, I hope I actually use it. And I'm not making you get out a gel pen for no reason, but I'm pretty certain, because usually when I do like galaxies and moons and stuff, I use a white gel pen. And it's interesting when you do use it on watercolor. If you use it when the watercolor's still wet, the gel ink paint, whatever it is, kind of bleeds into the watercolor, and it makes it like a soft, subtly kind of white bit rather than like a strong, harsh white. Whereas if you wait till it's dry, oh, there we go, I got the white gel pen. If you wait till it's dry, the white will be like obviously really strong and opaque over the top of the dried paint. So I think there's definitely parts of the painting that I've done that are a bit wet, and then there's parts that are a bit dry. And as I've probably told you guys before, my kind of general style when it comes to painting and stuff is kind of lazy. It's I don't like to wait for the paint to dry and do like layers, so I'm not really a big fan of layered paintings where you need each of the layers to be dry, and that's why parts of this white are probably have bled in, and then parts of it are much more opaque and stand out against the paint. But yes, I'm making those little sparkle star things, asterisks. I don't know. What would you call them? Would you call it a star on a moon? Because I don't think stars can be on moons. Oh my gosh, guys. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I clearly am enjoying just babbling to myself about just random things. Just the random ramblings of Sarah. Oh my goodness. We are so close to finishing this tutorial. I'm just like, whoa, I can actually stop talking soon, which I'm sure many of you will be grateful for, but I'm also going to be grateful because I'm not a big talker normally, but here I am by myself filming this, so I'm okay with talking. It's not as bad as actually interacting with people, because I suck at doing that. Who else finds it hard to actually interact with people? Ooh, here we go. A little bit of paint peel there. Not paint peel, washi tape peels. We know that the washi tape peel is quite a fun little thing, although it's not very satisfying here because it's not like I painted over the top of the washi and it's got that nice crisp line. It's just me ripping the washi tape off the paper. Sorry, guys. Anyhow, if you happened to enjoy this and want to see more from me, consider giving me a little follow, maybe a thumbs up, a comment or something. Let me know what you thought of the tutorial and if you enjoyed it. And if you decide to paint one yourself, please let me know how it goes. I'd love to see how you go. Anyhow, guys, until next time, bye.